In this video, I'm going to demonstrate painting this impressionistic view of a field near where I live. The subject matter I've painted before, watercolor and charcoal, a couple of times. I just enjoy the variety of the seasons and the shapes. So let's get started. This is the late afternoon photo I took for reference. I did make some changes to the composition, as you'll see. I pre-toned an 11 by 14 panel with transparent red oxide acrylic. Then I transferred the large shapes to the panel using a charcoal pencil and then sprayed a casein fixative over that. Now I'm going to mix up some darks using the Ultramarine Blue, burnt Sienna, and some quinacridone purple bluish. This will allow me to rock it between warm and cool and create some variety in the darks and the shadows. Here I'm painting around the tree trunks and some of the branches so that I can put those in later. Now, I do allow the shadows, some of these darks, to set a little bit for a day or two. So it wasn't completely necessary to do that. I could have painted over it, but I think the watercolorist in me likes to leave that space open for future paint. I use every part of the brush to create that organic tree-looking shape. I'm going to paint in the sky next. This will allow me to cover a good deal of this panel with paint to eliminate some of that background toning that I did. And I'm using a variety of blues and some titanium white. And I'm going to sketch in or brush in shapes around the clouds. And then I'll put the clouds in, and then I'm going to use a brush to smooth that out. I'm putting the sky in at an angle, and it's an opposing angle to the hill. We've got this almost a path, a Z form, between the sky direction and the hilltop. Now's the time I pull out this 3-inch badger hairbrush to soften the sky. It does a good job of softening without picking up too much paint. Using more of the cloud color with this palette knife, I'll put in a few cloud shapes that have hard edges to counteract some of that blurriness of the rest of the sky. Now I'm going to mix up a variety of colors for the trees and bushes. I like to blend colors on the canvas, sometimes picking up multiple colors on the brush and seeing what happens on the canvas. You get some really neat effects and natural looking things without really trying. Now I'm adding in the blue for the hillside. On the video, the blue doesn't look as real as it does in the actual photo or standing in front of the painting. I think it's just an effect of the video. It does seem to be a little brighter than what's really happening on the canvas. Just keep that in mind. You can see in the picture upper left that it's not the same blue. Now I'm using a variety of colors to paint the middle ground of the hill. And I'll come in later and finish that off, but this is sort of an underpainting for this area. My original thought was to put some tall grass catching the light in the foreground, but after putting some of it in, I decided it was just a little bit too exciting and too attention-grabbing, so I wiped out that area and put in more subtle foliage. Using a maul stick to steady my hand, I'll use this small flat brush to start putting in the fence in the background. I don't want this to be one continuous flat straight line. I need it to be varied. My goal here is to make it look like there's dappled shade and shadows across this fence. I want it to be interesting. I just want it to be a small little detail that the eye can travel to in the distance. Now I'm going to make some final adjustments to this painting, starting by toning down this area here on the left. I feel like it's drawing too much attention. It's a fairly bright, colorful area. I think it'll be better off as a cool shadow. I'm going to add more highlights to the branches and trunk of the tree in the back. The grassy area on the right-hand side at the top of the hill is a little bit too high. Then I'm going to add this foreground to middle ground path that takes you up and to the left on the hillside. What I'm going to do here is soften using this badger hair fan brush. I'm going to soften certain areas of this path just to make it less focused in the foreground. I like using a mirror to look at the painting throughout the process to see it backwards, or a mirror image. That way I can see things with a fresh eye, see what's sticking out, see what needs to be fixed or altered. Thank you very much for watching this process. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope there was some useful information along the way. If this is something you enjoy, please don't hesitate to give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like. and we'll see you on the next one.